Trying to repair an Atari 2600 can be quite an achievement if you can do it, because I'm missing a few ICs. The tier chip's gone. Oh well. Coming up on this week's Retro Robbins show, we go back to 1986 to give some more re-reviews to some Crash games that didn't quite make the Crash Smash. In fact, one or two of them got slightly low ratings, but we're going to have a look to see what they are like today. Do they stand the test of time? Are they just as good to play? Is it something that you played before and you may have forgotten about? Who knows? Unfortunately, we didn't get time for Commodore vs Spectrum, as well as having a look at some homebrew games. So join me now on the Retro Robbins show. Who knows, you might find it entertaining for the weekend. See if I can get back to fixing this. I'm not as smart as I think. Let's get on with it. Hello, welcome to the Retro Robbins show. It's me, Wayne. So what's on today's show? Well, as always, we're going to have a look at one or two of those games from the homebrew scene and give them the Retro Robbins treat and give them a good play, see how they are, see what we think about them. As also, if we get time, we'll throw in some more Commodore vs Spectrum and the usual re-reviews from out of Crash magazine. I haven't chose which Crash just yet. I might mix it up a bit today and pick various games from out of various Crash magazines and see if we can find one or two of those hidden gems. What do I mean by a hidden gem? Well, let me explain. I'll tell you what I mean by a hidden gem. There are certain games that time kind of forgets, or maybe not everyone remembers, but you may have played once or twice, and hopefully I might remind you of those games and it might inspire you to give them another go. Who knows, you might see what I can do with the game and think, I can do better than that, which shouldn't be difficult. Let's be honest, I'm pretty rubbish. As always, today's show is run on real hardware. We're using a real Commodore 64 and we're using the 128K toast rack for when it comes to Commodore vs Spectrum. And of course the main games will be reviewed off the Endo, which is the clone of the Spectrum Next. It's hardware, it's the same thing, it's original, and I love it. To be fair, it makes it really easy to choose the tunes. The Grade Plus 2 will be in action for one or two AY sounds, as well as the may even throw in the, I don't know, shall I throw in the Spectrum Plus 3 for a tune or two? One that's Mutant Caterpillar Ian, of course, has modified the sound for me. So I've got good sound, however it is a little bit quiet, so I have to really crank it up. Hopefully not too loud so you can't hear what I'm saying. That's basically it. Yeah, so if you enjoyed today's show, remember to give me a big thumbs up. It's always appreciated. I'd love to hear from you. So please leave a comment and let's help this channel grow and keep some of our Spectrum beloved games, some of the more hidden ones, back to life and bring them back to life. Great stuff down the old Stoke, by the way, as Neil, the Retro Man's Cave, is now officially ready for its inaugural opening, and everybody I'm sure is looking forward to that. Big shout out to Mark for Mark Fixes Stuff. Great to see you getting back on your feet. Can't wait to see some more tremendous content from you. As always, from Lady Decade as well, we love her stuff. Nostalgia nerd. He's pretty good as well, isn't he? Really great. Hasn't done too much recently, has he? He's started to slow down a bit, but we all do as we get older, I suppose. Maybe you're getting too old, Peter. Who knows? Yeah, let's have a look at today's first newish game. Right, this next game, it's in a foreign language. There is an English language version, I believe, out there, but I've not seen that. But it doesn't matter because I know what it is I've got to do on it. It's a platformer, and it's an interesting type of game because most of it you're in the dark. Now, before we start, I may apologise as the autofocus might play up a little bit. It may not, but I'll do my best. We're going to have a look at the game. It's got an absolutely lovely loading screen with 0 colour clash on it, which will load up now. And of course it's got a 128K AY tune in it, so it's got reasonable sound and it builds up slowly. There's your loading screen. Rather weird looking thing, to be fair, but it's a nice patterned, you know, gives it that feeling, doesn't it, of something darkish maybe, but it's well done. You can see like a temple or something to the side. The next screen, of course, is even better. Right, we'll turn the music down on the +2. You can just about hear coming in the sound of the outright tune to this game. I like the big graphic picture of the guy with his hand like that and the red hat. I wouldn't mind one of those hunter's hats, and what looks to be a few scary natives in the background. Retro Works, by the looks of things, is the producers of that at the bottom in the corner, and of course you've got joystick or keyboard. The keys are QA, OP, M and space. M is fire and shoot, and space is jump, I believe. So we're going to go with that, and we're going to have a look at the game in a moment. Remember, it's going to start off pretty dark, so if my autofocus plays up, I do apologise, but it will get better. So you see the little man which you are there, you click those items there, and when you can climb up the green vines, you can jump. You can also sword the bad guy, which is all explained on the screen there. Once you've collected all those little blue things you can see, well, blue and white things you can see on the screen there, the door will open and then you can move on to the next stage. With that explained, let's give it a go. Stage 1. And you can see that obviously there isn't a lot you can see, but as you progress through the screen, there are a few traps you want to, like for instance there, those are like nasty spiky things which are taking my energy, which is at the top of the screen. And the first screen's fairly easy, to be honest, but it gets more difficult as you go. Now we've got everything, the door is open, and we can move on to the next level. Goes quiet. Next level, just jumped over those nasty things. Now you will get, as you move through the levels, somebody come to, there he is, a guard, shall we say, or come and sap your energy if you're not careful. Just be mindful, once you've learned the route around the map, we've got the door open. Good, you've got the 4 gems at the top coloured. If you look at the very top of the screen there, there's like 4 different gems there, which is an indicator of something you have to do in the game as well. Right, we're through to the next level. Good thing is if you die, it does show you the full screen. This is where my autofocus might play up. Oops. Once we get enough on the screen that now we don't want to go just there just yet, because we want to get over this way. Oh, there we go. Well, we've opened the door now, but we don't want to go there just yet until he's moved out of the way. We're up to stage 3, and each time you get more and more issues, and learning the map is the key, obviously. Once you've learned the map around, you find it fairly simple, but you can lose your life pretty rapidly as well. Well, I like the idea. I love the graphics of the little guy. Can be a little bit annoying when you fall down a gap that you thought you'd cleared it over, but it's like, for instance, to collect that, you've got to jump in the right place. Now, you never know how many you've got to collect on per screen, so whether there's another one to collect somewhere, and I've got to find it. And that part of the joy of the game is seeking out, trying to illuminate more pieces of the map. Now to get to that, we've got to go the other way around, haven't we? So we've got to wait for him to move out of the way. Oh, no, there we go. We now know where the next one is. Getting there might be an issue. And I'm dead. So I've got one more item to collect there, and that was that thing in the corner, but it's quite a tricky game. Okay, what do I think playability wise? It's really good. I quite enjoyed playing it, but it was quite challenging to start with. The A-voice sound is not overwhelming, it's a little bit understated. If anything, it's not quite very loud, but it's there in the background, providing a little bit of atmosphere. Playable wise can be a little bit frustrating, but you know, as you get through each screen, it doesn't matter how many times you do it. And doesn't matter how many times you complete the screen, it can still be a pretty good challenge if you're, shall we say, not on the ball. So you've got to basically get everything right. Pixel perfect jumping required in certain areas to make it to the next ledge. Some areas it's not required, but the areas where it is required are usually shrouded in darkness, so you can rather lose your life unfairly. But it's a great game, no doubt about that, and I did enjoy playing it, and I thought it was a very playable game, and one worth giving a go, which is available on download. If you want to tip the coders, please feel free to do so. You can download it for free, obviously, but the problem is when you download games for free, it discourages people from actually putting the effort in to make other games. So even if it's only £1, put £1, and you know, it's not a lot for what you get, really, is it, nowadays? And it's great to see things developed, because you're not getting the hardware game itself. But yeah, marks out of 10 then. I'm going to give that I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10, because I quite enjoyed it, and I will go back and give it another go to see if I can get any further. I have gotten further than that in pre-recording, but as always, when I come to recording, I'm usually awful. Can you do better? Why not give this game a go and enjoy playing it? The next game, bit of a homebrew. We're going to give it a go. I think we need to use... It's got a good 128k sound, if I remember rightly. Black Sea Treasure Hunters. Right, you've got the combination of keyboard, Kempston, Sinclair, and guess what? Big round of applause. We get to redefine our keys, which we'll do now. Pause, I'll use H for hold. And that's it, there's no fire, so it's just a movement game. Time to read. Now it's going to have one of those annoying sounds that we get quite often. Nice bright white border. You're in this little ship here. I've got to go and get that treasure down there. And you've got a life force, so fairly easy. Took a bit of my energy that time. There's a little bit, you see that little red like a lantern there, that's the next thing I need to get. Well, that is going to be quite difficult, to be quite honest, because you've got to time it absolutely perfectly. You've got to follow that like crab, get up in the air, down, wait till he goes past, down again, and of course you've got to time it so as you don't collide into that type squid device there. Is it a squid or is it an octopus? I don't know. I believe it could be an octopus, that one. Looks rather angry for an octopus. That's obviously a jellyfish going up and down, and plenty of graphics on the screen. Right, now we get a little bit more tricky. There's nothing to collect on this screen, so I think we can just work our way through it. Anything that's green you can hit, anything that's not green you want to avoid. Now there's a mine there, and if you don't avoid that mine, it will drop down. And there's a door with a key that's required, so I presume now to get a key, we've got to go down here some road. Yeah, now it's a duck and dive platform situation, so I like the look of the crabs, however there's only 2 stages of animation on those sprites. Open mouth, closed mouth, leg left, leg right. The squid looks to be having 3 stages of animation, doesn't it? 1, 2, 3, yes. You get a total of 3 lives. And it looks like you've got a certain amount of time to get through each screen, which I rather did badly that time round, but I've got through that one. Does that time start again? No. So you've got so long and you need to get around it fairly quickly. And there's the key I need to collect, so I've got a slight itch on my chin, I think. Right. That obviously is following me, so if we can avoid him. There's something we can collect up here if you get time, but I think we're going to run out of energy and time. Oh yeah, I can see what it is. We're going to get that a Game Boy. And now try and get out of here without losing any more energy. Whoops. We need to get to the surface pretty sharpish, else we're going to lose a life. And we've got 24 seconds to go. And that's going down pretty quickly. So let's get through. Oh! How much energy have I got left? 16 seconds. No, I'm not going to make it, am I? But I've got the key. If that's any consolation. 9, 8, 7, 6. I'm rushing now, so I'm losing lots of energy. Bang, there we go. So I don't believe we'll start with a new time, but good thing is we start at the top of the screen. We'll work my way around this way. Hopefully we'll get through to that. We've got the key, haven't we? Yeah. Is it in my possessions? I don't know. Yes, it is. So we got through the gate there, and your time starts again. Now I don't think you can reset the clock by going to the top, but you need to go to the surface. Oh. We've collected some gold coins, which is nice. I could spend them later on. Ah, I'm just brutalisingly going through the screen pretty quickly now. Rescue these. There we go. And yeah, it's a good little treasure hunt game. I quite like it. Difficult in certain spots for sure. And I'm making a right mess of it, so I'm sure you're going to do better. Oh, see if I can get to that diamond without losing any more energy. And obviously I'm not going to do too much well, but without playing it too much, I'm going to leave the rest for you to have a go on. Let's turn up some music because we've got up quite all of a sudden. The AY sound has disappeared. Graphically, not bad. Reasonably easy to play, and I would say, you know, it's I like the effect of the board actually when you die. Gives you your score, gives you something to beat next time round, so there's at least that part of the game that you can do. Marks out of 10. I'm going to give that a very respectable 7 out of 10. Give it a go, see if you can beat my score. Shouldn't be too difficult. If you can't, shame on you. Okay, the last of today's homebrew games. It's a breakout clone. We're going to give it a go. It's mainly in basic with a little bit of code. Code mainly for a little touch of the graphics. I've got to be honest, I don't know what to think of it. So I'm going to see if we can play it and then perhaps come to my opinion when it's actually loaded. Just loading it up. There you go. Back to Basics 2021. I saw that rolling across the screen. You got the editor, instructions with the I can see that. What's the PM me. Oh, I see. Okay, I'll get you. That's not a problem. Right, we'll keep it on that. Time bonus. So it's OP. I know, you've got to hit them a number of times, have you, before they disappear? I've hit that once. It's changed slightly to a duller white. Don't know how well that's going to pick it up on the screen. Really is quite a slow moving game, but I usually find with basic games, the majority of this is in basic, that the speed will pick up very quickly. So I think you can catch it. You get bonuses as well that drop down, a bit just like the Arcanoid game that you can get. Whether you're able to get there in time can be quite another thing. Now I remember if you can change the direction by the edge of the bat, just like on the other game. That's cool. I can see we're going to be here a while though, because it's so slow. I've had no bonuses drop down. There you go. See how you can get to hit the edge of the bat. I like that. And there's a bonus. Let's get to that. See if we can get to the bonus. No, you can't get to there, because as always, like these games are really annoying, is you're never in the right place to grab the bonus. If you try and get the bonus, you've got a chance of losing the ball, and if you lose the ball, then you can't complete the game. But I presume there'll be more bonuses, of course. I'm just looking to see if we can get one. I've got a squeaky chair, can you tell? Oh, I've moved out of the way. Right, what do I release? Anything? Oh, it's space to release, okay. So I've got a long way to go yet before completing this screen, and if I know anything, this is going to get very boring very fast. So what I might do in a moment is I might pause it and get an edited picture of me getting a little bit further, because it's so slow moving. Or I could potentially increase the speed using the next guy. That's what I'll do. Right, let's just increase the speed. I know it's cheating, but who cares? That's a bit better. It's great what you can do to back to basics with the clone. Oh, surely I got that, didn't I? I'm going to have fun with this now, because I'm going to go to 14 next. Right, let's increase the speed. Let's try it at 14. Ah! Oh! This is better. Too quick. Okay, for the basic game, not bad at all. Bit slow moving for my liking. It does speed up actually. The ball does suddenly ricochet on, but yeah, if it's nicely done. It's nicely done. Give it a respectable 6.5 out of 10. See if you can beat that score of 68, which I should think you will do pretty much easily. Right, let's go to some Crash 3 reviews. Been reading through the latest edition of Crash that was sent to me by Chris, of course. I'm involved in that and I love it. Brilliant, isn't it? Thank you, Chris, for bringing that back to life. The game we're looking at today is this one that's on the title screen now, and it was from the Crash issue number 33, October 1986. Is that music too loud? Probably knowing me, yeah. Right, what can I tell you about this game? It was by Mirrorsoft. It would have cost you £7.95. The author was David O'Connor, and the ratings are as follows. And believe me, there's 7 ratings in total. I think there's 7, is it? Yeah, there's 7. Oh, one thing I must remember not to do: put cans of fluid on top of electrical goods, because I've got a habit of knocking things over. So not the most intelligent move there as I place it back on top of the tape recorder it was sitting on previously before I took a sip out of it. Sometimes I'm one brick short of a full stack, and there's a prime example. Oh well, I suppose I'll be crying all the way to the repair shop just over there. Use of computer 67%, graphics 68%, playability 66%, getting started 66%. How easy it is to get into the game, I've explained that before now. Addictive qualities 52%, value for money 53%. Overall rating then from Crash 1986, where Crash was only £1. Have I said that already? I may have done, yeah. Was 59%, so effectively 6 out of 10. What I do like about this game straight away is you get the option to redefine your keys. However, which we're going to do now, redefine, right. Press your key for fire and bomb, jump and hold, quit, exit, E. To start the game, press space. Oh yeah, I know it now. As you can see, it's a side-scrolling game. If you go over that, that'll make you jump that little patch on the floor, and you just got to basically get as far as you can without running into these. So it's about timing your jumps, and of course the amount you press the button is how long you jump for. And we've got a fair few coming in. We're going to make a jump now. Now I should just about survive that. Oh, and you use the bomb effectively there. Doing okay. It's a nice smooth scrolling pattern. Am I going to make that? Yes, I did. I wanted to click that bomb, but I've, you know, going to have to proceed without that. Oh, I thought I'd drop down the hole there. And I did drop down the hole there, but I wonder if... good, because I got a little bit further than I normally do, so I was able to start off from another section, which I didn't know about. And what is that? Oh, I'm going to miss it anyway, so it doesn't matter. Oh, I didn't miss it. Got a time that's running down, as you can see. Oh, I didn't mean to press the bomb then. No. I got it, whatever it was, so, no. Oh, dude. I don't know how I survived that, I've got to be quite honest, that's a really big jump. I've got no bombs, so I've got to shoot him. I need to collect some bombs from somewhere. Wow, that's going to be a big jump, isn't it? There's a bomb. And just in the nick of time. And I'm down the hole as well. Alright, well, it's the same most of the way through. Each level gets slightly different sprites, but it's a good little scrolling game. It's been given a 6 out of 10. It's not too bad. There isn't enough sound in it for my liking. I mean, there's no real sound, is there, to be honest? So, yeah, but then they could have done it in 1986, 1985, but nobody really got into the stride of putting AY music in it. So what am I going to give that a re-rating of? Have you played this in the past? Well, that's, to be fair, probably about the 3rd or 4th go I've had on that since recording, and I kind of like it. Something about it, I'm just eager to progress further. So, yeah, it's got a little bit, reminds me a little bit of Freddy Hardest. You know, where he used to kick and fire. Well, this one you jump and you fire, but you've also got the added bomb. It reminds me a little bit of that. It's graphically very nice, obviously monotone with the 2 colours there. The sprites look reasonably interesting. Look like squirrels with wings, or bears with wings. I don't know what they're meant to be, but they're not too bad and they're quite pleasing to the eye. Like that little bit of a flicking colour display for the high scores there, which is very good. And I'm going to give that a 7 out of 10, maybe one for you to try. So let's move on to the next game that I've selected for today. My Robot. 1942 by Elite. Dominic Wood was the author, and of course this also would have cost you £7.95. Use of computer 70%, graphics 65%, playability 67%, getting started 68%, addictive quality 61%, value for money 64%, overall 63%, slightly higher than the last game that we played. I've played this many a time. I quite like this game, to be honest. I think it's a classic, based on the arcade, of course. Elite was a good arcade game, not one that took my quarters, but then I was a bit of a poor kid. Load the Z80 file in an instant. Let's turn the music down. I love the classic Elite display. They did a lot like that. I think it reminds me as well that was it Rambo, where you've got the side and it did sort of those boxes. Well, the good thing is we got a keyboard called Kempston. I'm going to just power up my Kempston. You know, I've not charged that once since I've had it, and I've used it loads. I should have charged it out of the box, so I was using it out of the box without charging it. And tell a lie, I did charge it once, but the standard charge that you should do, and I'm pretty impressed with it because it's straight in, and I'm definitely going to have to get in touch and get another one of these for my collection while they're still readily available. So the way you start the game is you press whether you're one player or two player. In this case we're going to be a one player because there's only me here. No real sound in the game, just the sound of you shooting. It's a pattern recognition game, of course. You get power-ups, and when you get power-ups you get more bullets, and if you get more bullets the game gets easier. So, you know, it's I think we get a power-up at the end of these ones, don't we? There we go. If I can get to it, I'll get it. There we go. 4 bullets straight away. And believe me, it's crucial that you get the power-ups in these games. Sometimes the bullets travel quite quickly across the screen and it can catch you out. This is the one where you do the little roll, isn't it? Just like on the arcade, really. You get a little roll, and that was nicely done. I think the scrolling with this game, I mean, I've got to be careful with him because... Oh, see? I'm getting destroyed already. Do you start off roughly where you die? A little bit, yes. So that's not too bad. You don't have to start all over again. But you have to get so far before you start off where you die, of course. Some planes fire, some planes don't. I like the way they flash a slightly different colour as well when you're close to destroying them. I need to kill these all for the power up. I want to get the power up there. That's it. Now the blue ones, I think they fire, don't they? There we go. I'm doing better now. That's great. The scrolling on this I think was lovely and smooth. I mean, it's not too difficult because there's not a lot on the screen to do, but these big planes can be quite tricky to destroy because you've got to keep an eye on the bullets at the same time. I'll tell you what, this music in the background, the AI music from Super Mario, sort of complements this game a little bit, doesn't it? And yeah, there we go. We got to the main ship, so we can land the plane and get the first section out of the way, and move on to the next part of the game where we get slightly harder as you go along. Oh, I've still got them skills, look. Oh, look, they did a runner. I've got them anyways. Oh, I need that for the power up. You lose your power up, how about that? Oh, how did I avoid that? So them bullets, they don't mess about, them bullets. They do travel quite quickly, so you've really got to be on your ball there. And they can fire from behind, so you've got to be careful. Ah! I forgot about the big bird coming from the back. Isn't it a great game? I think for shoot 'em ups you don't get much better really, do you? And the fact that you only got 64%. Right, I'm going to go rapid fire each. I'm being followed. How the well. Heavens, the idea of avoid that. How the well, me trying to avoid using a curse language. Right. Shut up, you. Barked at me. 64% overall. What do I think about the game? Well, I thought it was a lot better than that. Obviously, I love it for a shoot 'em up. Great when I put the infinite cheats in once and was able to cruise through everything, destroy everything, and complete the game. I could never do it without cheating, so I had to use them. Personally, 8 out of 10. I would have given that for, you know, a conversion of arcade game. I thought it was pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. Maybe you beg to differ. Leave your comment and I'll be intrigued to see what you thought of the game. I love it, to be honest. Moving on then. Next game, this is an interesting one by Bubble Bus. It would have cost you £7.95. We've got a theme going on here, haven't we, to be honest? Use computer 56%, graphics 61%, playability 55%, getting started 64%, addictive qualities 57%. I'm reading it. I can't memorise everything, you know. I do try, but I can't do it. Value for money 55%, overall rating 56%. I've not told you the name of the game just yet because it's got a little madness in the word. The author was Chin, spelled C-A-I-N, and we're going to have a look at the game just now. This might not load first time, but I'm going to try it anyway. Will it work? Yes! Moonlight Madness. And it is madness. Bubble Bus. There's the author. John F. Didn't have the F, did I? I forgot the F. I don't know what the F. Ferguson, Francis, I don't know what it stands for. Could be something I don't know. I've not heard of the guy before, but let's have a look at this game from the early years. Good thing is, oh, interesting the way the bleeper sound has changed there to a shorter blast version. You get to define the keys, and we're going to use, ooh, can we use... push a button. No. Now we've got to click the key. So we push this button here, or push that button there. You get it. Oh yeah. So I presume I've got to push the other button to get a platform. We'll try this side first. That's appeared. Now if I push this side. Oh, deaf, you can't jump. So you've got to drop down twice then, have I? Okay, we'll drop down there, we'll drop down there. We'll go through the door. It's a strange reason when you press the button. Right, so I presume... oh, look, it's a bit sticky, look. It's slow at moving, isn't it? Push this button. You know what, I think M could be for music, so perhaps I should have defined the key slightly different. We're going to get my first key. Now all we've got to do is get back to where we started to start with, isn't it? Yeah, M is for music, so we can rectify that. Let's just change the settings. There we go, settings changed. Yeah, M is for music. If you press M, you turn the music off. So when it doesn't tell you that, so when you redefine the keys, make sure you use N or something else if you're using the rubber keyboard. Also to enter the room, so we can push that. We'll slow the lift down. It basically moves when you move, the lift does. Right, it reminds me a little bit, the character reminds me a little bit of Booty. Oh yeah, it's one of them as well, look, it moves when you move. Which is odd, I don't know if it's meant to do that, but once we get to the top, we'll press this button and that should change the lift over again. Or it may even stop the lift. And we should be able to get across and collect my first key, which I'll... once I got that, we can go straight back. It's almost like it's in basic, isn't it? Thing is though, how do we get to the next platform? Do I need to press that button? Well, I'll tell you what we'll do, just enter that. Ah, you can see that it's sort of only moving when you're moving, so press this button here. Well, I don't know if this is playing properly, but I'll tell you something. It's it does remind me a lot of. I'm gonna die here. Shouldn't walk off the edge. It does remind me a lot of Booty, where you've got the keys to open the different doors. What you've got to do effectively is you've got to get all the keys and those. A total of 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12 by the looks of things. 12 keys that you've got to take to the safe. Once you get those to the safe, what happens after that? I don't know. I haven't got that far. Challenging game. Interesting looking sprites. Look, there's a fat version of me at the bottom. I don't think my nose is that big, but I definitely got a bald head the same. Bald is beautiful. Okay, major amount of colour clash there. Look, it just literally blocks out the background. So it didn't try to avoid colour clash. It just completely blocked out the background. Playability wise, I have given it a long ago. It seemed to run smoother, so I don't know what's going on there. It didn't seem to be a bit laggy this time round, and yeah, its overall rating was overall rating 56%. I'll totally agree with Crash there. I'm going to give it a 5.5 out of 10. However, I may give it does look like something that's going to intrigue me, because I will be interested in trying to get all those keys to open that safe. So I may come back to that and give it a good go later on. Have you played it? Did you do any good? Can you do any better than me? Probably. Few honourable mentions, the ones that I haven't mentioned of course. In this issue of Crash, and believe it or not, Trivial Pursuit at 91% was a Crash smash by DeMark at £14.95. I'm not going to put Alexander Armstrong in again. Oxford Digital Enterprises were the coder for that. Scooby-Doo by Elite at 91%, £7.95. And of course, the next game we're going to review is also by Elite at £7.95. Didn't make a Crash smash. Unbelievable. It's a classic, and you're about to see what it is now. Right then. I'll say this is a classic game, I wasn't lying. Based off an arcade game, and you're probably going to guess what it is. You got very close. Use of computer 84%, graphics 86%, playability 89%, getting started 91%, addictive qualities 87%, value for money 86%, and overall rating was 88%. It's a good game, I liked it. I did it on Commodore versus Spectrum. I think I gave it to the Spectrum because I preferred the Spectrum version simply because it played smoother. What is the game? Did I tell you the author? Well, I'm not going to. Why should I? Shouldn't do really, shouldn't I? But you'll pretty much see what I mean in a moment. Loading screen will come up briefly. There you go, Paperboy. Classic Paperboy, isn't it really? When you see that, you get to select whether we press 1 by selecting between the Kempston keys. You can't redefine them. We'll go for Kempston, simply because it's just easy for me to speak to you and play the game at the same time. I love that. And he's made the headlines there, hasn't he? Great stuff. I would like to say I didn't have that many freckles when I was a kid, but nevertheless. Not to start. Absolute classic start to a game, isn't it really? Right then, so what you've got to do in this game if you haven't ever played it, whoa, you've got to throw papers at and land them in letterboxes, avoiding bins and any other nasties along the way. If you miss a house, you don't get to deliver to that house again. If you get to the end of the level, by the way, collect your papers. I've got 2 houses so far, so I'm doing quite good. And you don't want to be... Oh, come on, I got that. Very, very responsive. This should be the easiest one to get, this one. Well, I might have got to keep that house, I don't know. Yeah, but if you come off the curve, you will get stuck on the road. I'm going to nail it past him. I've lost a house there, so that's not very good. Scrolling is as smooth as you ever want this game to be. Every time you get through the level, like, he can have it. Again, I battered the biker. That house had to have 3 papers, I finally got there though. And how quickly does this move, this game? Now I don't understand why I didn't get that one, because that was right on the money, wasn't it? We get to the assault course at the end. And hopefully. So we've lost how many houses? We lose 3, and so on and so forth. You get to the next level, you collect more scoring games, so you can set a high score. I do like it, to be fair. Oh, look at that. Oh, bang, bing, job done. Unbelievably didn't get a crash smash, however I'm going to say 9 out of 10. I'm going to give it that extra percentage it required. Was a classic, we've all seen it, we've all probably played it. If we've had a Spectrum, you surely would have come across this one. If you haven't, give it a go, because it really is quite a good play. Very well done at the time. Not easy though, not easy at all, believe me. It's a very tricky game to play. Fun though, it is fun. And I'm going to, for that reason, I'm going to give it its full. I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10, because that was one of my favourites from when back in the day. Paperboy! The arcade though, I wasn't such a fan. Moving on then. I'm going to show you this game. Just to let you know, give you a clue to what game I'm about to review. It doesn't involve Hugh Jackman. Give you a chance to guess. Use of computer 31%, graphics 28%, playability 33%, getting started 49%, addictive qualities 32%, value for money 41%, overall rating was 31%. Now I've got to add that in the magazine that this was out of, Crash Number issue 33 from October 1986, the price of this game, according to this magazine, how correct this is I don't know, was 99p. Crash magazine cost you £1. This was a penny cheaper for a game. We're going to have a look at the loading screen. Obviously I think it's going to load pretty quickly. I think it's only 48k. The greatest show on earth. And we have to go through this little seekings by B. Jones, 1985. This got reviewed in 1986 in Crash, so they're sort of catching up a little bit with this particular game. And it is loaded. It's just waiting for me to press a few keys to get going, because that's what it does. Got an annoying little noise there. Fortunately I've got the volume control here, I can turn it down. And you'll get a lot of that noise in this particular game. Press any key. There's your instructions. I'll give you a couple of minutes to catch up with that while I take a sip of my pop and get ready to talk you through this game. I'm actually quite impressed with it, to be fair. I couldn't get it. I didn't have this game anywhere. I was looking everywhere. I don't have a physical copy of it. It's something I didn't buy. And I have an awful lot of physical copies of games, believe me. You've probably seen me post before now as a collector. And of course, continuously buying new games as well. A lot of them are just download, although I like it on a tape, so I tend to convert them into a tap file and put them on a tape and give them a little inlay card if I can for my own personal use collection. Right, as I say, it's annoying. Get rid of that straight away. Right, you got 3 lives. You don't have the option to redefine any keys. You use the keys that are there. I'll tell you what to do before every event. The tightrope. Right, so you use 1 and 0 and spaces jump. And I hate it. Just got to get... And I'm dead straight away. I didn't even make the first jump. But you've got to get to that ladder basically and jump as many... I think you've got to jump quite a few times. This one's a little bit easier. I think this is the strongman. Now, you just use P on this for power. And you just got to get in the last indication. See where that meter goes across. If you get it right, you pull the 100-ton weight towards you. If you get it wrong, it goes that way. You're not on a time limit and it's not too difficult. However, I'm not sure. It's a little bit tricky to time that as well as I do. So I've got to keep really concentrating now just to get it up a little bit. I tend to look for a point it passes, then press it. Once it passes that point and presses, then obviously it's going to pull. At the moment, I am winning. If only just. Oh, and I may have spoke too soon here. Hard concentration. This could be a long video. Even though this seems to be taking some time, and you could be here quite a while if you're just missing it every now and then. I am kind of enjoying it. It's just one button to press, and I'm 1 step forwards, 2 steps back at the moment. So a little bit of concentration. See if we can get 3 in a row. There's 2. This one for 3 in a row. Oh, see, it flips over to the other side. You go back. 1. Oh. Of course, if you don't hit the button, you know, it'll just keep going across. It won't push back unless you hit the button. So if you do miss it, you can time it again. Like for instance, I'll let this go all the way across. It'll come back on the other side, and you get another chance. So if you're not happy where you are, then you can time it that way. What I'll do is I'll pause this and see if I can get it a little bit closer. Get in there. One more hit, we might be through. Or is it this one? No! Gone red again. Couple more hits. I've been here about 10 minutes so far, haven't I? 100,000 years later. Yes! Screen complete! So I lost a life on the first screen. I managed to survive that one. I've got 2 lives left. And this one is, well, this is kind of like a catchphrase. Not catchphrase, a mind reading game. Tells you what you got to do. You've got to guess the word. Think of a word to do with a circus. And it's going to be circus. But we'll get it wrong because we don't want to keep this video too long. And of course you've got to fill every letter in. But it tells you what the word is if you get it wrong. If you get it right, then obviously you're not going to need to know. But screen 4. And this is already going on a bit too long. The knife throwing one, right? Q, A and P. You've got to get... it rotates basically. And P will throw. And... your top arrow here, it doesn't matter where that is, but this is the one that you want. And if you miss, you're outside the box, then you lose a life. So apart from the annoying noise, the game itself, playable wise, is okay. I mean, there's enough variations in it. So I've got 4 screens, and tell you what, we'll get rid of that. That noise, it is annoying. The greatest show on earth, and that wasn't, but it only got 31%, and to be honest, I thought it was a little bit better than that. There was enough variation in the game and plenty of challenges, especially the word game, to having to use your nugging as well as your, shall we say, reaction speed. Is quite a good mixture in the game. So for that reason, I'm going to give that a better rating of 5.5 out of 10. Give it a go, see if you can do better than me, and see if you can get a lot further. You probably will do. We'll go for one more and we'll call the show a day so as we don't go on too long. Paging through my files here. Right, final game of today then, before we call it a day then, and hopefully you'll enjoy the show. Nexor, £7.95, Denton Design. Okay. Author A. Graham Stafford and Davidish. Should have written these clearer. I scribble things sometimes. I do prepare the show. I don't just throw it together in the last minute. You know, I do have a little bit of study. I do have a play. I do try and remember some of the games that I've played. I've played plenty of Spectrum games over the years, and believe me, I've enjoyed every one in its own particular way, shape or form. Anyway, back to the chopping down. User computer 83%, graphics 91%, playability 77%, getting started 82%, addictive quality 78%, value for money was 80%, so its overall rating was 81%. It's a benchy tune in the background from the game Humans, as you can hear. That is coming from the Toast Rack, and it's pretty good clear sound, that is. One that Tian from Muted Caterpillar has repaired. Big shout out to anybody that helps support the channel. A big thank you for your suggestions and your comments, and I do appreciate anyone that gets involved for this little bit of look at retro games. Hopefully we found one or two that may have been overlooked in the passage of time. Obviously Paperboy wasn't, because that's always recording along. In the meantime, let's have a look at this game. Not sure whether it's got sound. I don't think it has, because if I remember right, it's a 3D isometric game. Good thing is, we get to define the keys. The instructions are as follows, which we'll go through. So that's basically what you got to do. We're going to redefine the keys now, so I could use Kempston. What is the joystick you select? Ah, right, yeah, we'll go for Kempston, why not? Press 0 to return the game. Just make sure I pair it up, I have indeed. Right. Doesn't like Kempston. So I think we'll try that again. Well, I think we'll go to keys because for some strange reason, even though I've got Kempston selected, it's playing up. Right, you've got your usual conveyor belt. So, you know, if you don't keep jumping, you'll just sort of slide off. I'm going to get into the top screen before I fall all the way down that elevator shaft. Oh. I kind of find it, because it's quite blocky, pretty hard to get through the doorways. And so many games were like this. It's like Sweevo's World, Hydrofull. Oh yeah, so when you go on there, these are going to go fairly fast. And to get to the next door, you've got to keep jumping because you can't walk. It will just get you nowhere and you just slide backwards. That bit of the game I really hate, being honest, because if it was a little bit more quicker progress as you can make it through the games and achieve your goal, would be better. Right, so yeah, we're going to go back to where we started, I think, and oh, here we go again. Jumpity, 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 just to get to the door. Changing room colours, monotone obviously. You've got 8 men, or 8 lives, that look like security men with a badge, doesn't he? Now, when you fall down here, watch how far you drop. Oh, actually, I won't drop that far. Oh, I have, I've dropped. And you'll keep going down, you keep going down, down, digger and down. Got all status quo on you. And eventually you'll get to the bottom. This is going to cause problem with the autofocus. But you've got to try and work your way up there. So make a note of bubbles that are climbing up and platforms that are moving across, because eventually you've got to get back to the top. There's usually something you can collect in this next room. There it is. Alright, and these disappear on you. And it tells you how long you've got to collect anything else. But we've got that now, so we'll have a look in this room before we try and make it up to the top. It doesn't look like we're going to go for... Look, there's a big eye. There's a hand with an eye on it, look. And if you walk any further, you die. Now, there's so many isometric games, it's just gone beyond a joke. Right, so we're going to get back up to the top. This is where it gets difficult. First bit's fairly easy. Make sure you're facing the right direction, because the next bit is a little bit more tricky. We're going to get on that balloon. And there are actual doorways that you need to get to in order to... in the middle of this, like, well, all I can say is it looks like a rather large elevator shaft, if you like. I think the next one we've got to jump to get across onto another bubble. But if you fall too far, you get another chance, so... Or maybe I've got to go to the left. No, I've missed it, and now... It's so difficult. It really is a bit of an achievement. There you go, I'm just about on it. And I didn't quite make the platform. Anyway, it's in a frustrating and annoying game. For that reason, it's graphically very good, but so frustrating trying to get round the actual map. It's unreal. Its overall rating got 81%. I didn't agree, because it was a little bit too tricky, a little bit too hard, a little bit too time consuming, especially on those conveyor belts. You don't move that slow on Batman, do you? You're able to get through to the screens ever. It wasn't my type of game. Isometric games are great graphically, but sometimes playable wise they're not all that, and on this occasion it isn't. Swivo Worldies, Alienate's a great game. Night Lord, the first of the lot, was great. I actually even like Nightshade, which is another game that I used to play a lot, with the disappearing walls, so we say, so as you can actually see inside the room, which I thought was pretty good. Graphically it was really nice. By Ultimate that was. This one, it's not my cup of tea. It's like Silu, similar sort of thing. Silu didn't have so much, shall we say, tile background, if you like, going on, but I just found it a little bit annoying, a little bit sluggish, a bit too slow and too frustrating in order to get around the map. And that being said, you might not agree. But if it's one that you'd like to give a go and see if you can do better than me, then please feel free to do so. Leave your comments below, and as always from me, Wayne Retro Robbins, do hope you've enjoyed this week's show. I'm going to try and get more regular content on the way for you, and we will return with some more Commodore versus Spectrum in the new year, probably. I want to get Christmas out of the way, really, especially you know, these last few months have been quite a busy one for me, because as a delivery driver this is our busiest time of the year. And that being said, thanks to all my subscribers, thanks to anybody that's helped me, and as always, from me, Wayne Retro Robbins, you have a nice working week or weekend, and I'll see you again soon. Take care, and thanks for watching.